Edmonton. Local breaking news with Jeremy Thompson.
I'm very disappointed that this report politicizes what actually should be a very successful example of unified command.
The Premier is demanding an apology from Jasper, adamant an independent review that found provincial involvement complicated last year's wildfire response is wrong. Good evening. Along with that apology, Danielle Smith wants a retraction for a section of a third-party report about the response to the Jasper wildfire. The report is coming out nearly a year after the fire destroyed a third of the town. It states jurisdictional overlap with the province took away the focus of incident commanders. CTV's Nicole Weisberg reports.
Did the province make the situation worse in Jasper?
We absolutely did not.
Alberta's Premier is on the defensive following an after-action report about the Jasper wildfire.
I'm very disappointed that this report politicizes what actually should be a very successful example of unified command.
The 57-page report commissioned by the town of Jasper and authored by 2 consulting firms said the overall response to the fire was a success and noted remarkable strengths in several areas. It also made recommendations for improvement and pointed out gaps. One section states jurisdictional overlap with the province created political challenges that disrupted the focus of incident commanders, leading to time spent managing inquiries and issues instead of directing the wildfire response and re-entry.
It is important to understand that this was a federal fire. It took place in a federal park, and it was a Federal Parks Canada response. So whatever it is that they are trying to do to deflect blame, I'm not impressed with it, and I would ask for an apology.
The municipality declined an interview but said the review was independently authored and involved more than 320 participants from multiple agencies.
I thought it was a well-rounded, well-conducted after-action review.
Wildfire scientist Mike Flanagan has read many of these kinds of reports, which he says are common after major disasters.
And these are necessary because, we want to learn from this catastrophic fire. It's normal for interested parties like the province to want information, but to the point where it was a distraction suggests there wasn't enough resources and communication could be better.
The municipality of Jasper did not say whether it would apologize to the Premier. Nicole Weisberg, CTV News, Edmonton.
RCMP are putting out an urgent warning about fake Xanax pills after the recent death of a teenager in Edmonton. Officers believe a 16-year-old died of an overdose after taking pills which look like the anti-anxiety medication. The fake Xanax contains a potent opioid called isotoniazine. They're gray and rectangular with an Onax imprint on one side and a number 2 on the other side.
And even if you don't think that your child is capable of taking those pills, they're out there, they're being exposed. Our children are being exposed to these type of things, whether you like it or not. It's important that we just speak to them, educate them anyways, whether they're going to protect themselves or potentially a friend.
Edmonton police put out a warning about the same pills earlier this week. And EPS has mapped out the last known movements of a missing woman and her vehicle. As Merrick DeCash reports, it's an investigation spanning from Saskatchewan to Nanaimo.
Let us family have closure in this. Come forward with answers for us.
Family members of Natanis Marasti breaking down during a press conference, making a plea for information on where she is.
We want her home. She is loved. She did not deserve this. Family who dearly misses her want her home.
The last reported sighting of Marasti came on May 5th at the Continental Inn on Stony Plain Road. She was seen driving away in her black Hyundai Tucson just after 2:30 in the morning. 20 minutes later, she was captured on CCTV at the 7-Eleven on 156th Street and 107th Avenue.
These are the last clear images we have that we're able to share with Natanis Marasti.
Police say her vehicle traveled from Edmonton past Buck Lake, Nordegg, and Lake Louise. The next day, May 6th, the vehicle drove through BC, boarding a ferry bound for Nanaimo. 3 days later, May 10th, the vehicle was seen back in the Edmonton area, then Lloydminster on May 12th. On May 15th, Morasti's Tucson was found repainted on James Smith Cree Nation in Saskatchewan.
We have to acknowledge that her last sighting was here in Edmonton. So, hence, this investigation is from here, and we're pursuing every lead we can on it.
Police have not identified suspects.
We've spoken to a number of individuals, and we have a number of people of interest.
After 2 months of searching, her family says they're not giving up.
We have a lot of hope that she's still alive.
Merrick Takash, CTV News, Edmonton.
Alberta has an additional 31 confirmed cases of measles, bringing the province past the 1,400 mark. One of those cases is in Edmonton. The northern part of the province recorded the most new cases at 18. Calgary has 6, while the south recorded 5. The south zone is still has the most confirmed measles cases at 822. The province is making changes to its Alberta Next online survey. The surveys were launched 3 weeks ago to gather opinion on Alberta distancing itself from the federal government. The questions cover topics including a provincial pension plan, police force, and tax collection agency. Some Albertans criticized the survey because there wasn't an option to disagree with certain concepts. The Premier's spokesperson says panelists had heard feedback from various people during this week's town halls that they wanted a none-of-the-above option to select. The province says the results of the altered survey will be separated from the original survey results. So far, 32,000 people have filled out the survey. And the group that targeted Pierre Polyev's Ottawa riding in the last federal election is at it again. The longest ballot group ran dozens of candidates in Polyev's Carleton riding during the April election. The Conservative leader lost his seat to Liberal Bruce Fanjoy. Now, Polyv is running in Battle River Crowfoot after the Conservative MP stepped down to allow for a by-election. As of today, more than 100 candidates are registered in the riding. The majority are with the longest ballot group. A spokesperson says they're getting lots of complaints, which proves the point they're trying to make.
They're saying, like, well, why can't Elections Canada fix this? And the longest ballot people, we agree. Why can't a third party that's independent from the government fix, anything or change election laws? But the problem is that it's the winners that dictate how the election laws are done. The members of parliament, they're the ones that have to decide it. And then in turn, is it going to happen? Probably not until it starts to affect them a little bit. And so it's putting that little pressure on.
The group wants to register at least 200 candidates. The by-election is scheduled for August 18th. The province is putting $2.8 billion into Alberta's Heritage Savings Fund, bringing the balance to a record $30 billion. The Premier spoke today alongside the Finance Minister and the chair of the Crown Corporation that manages the fund. The funding is part of the government's plans to grow savings and eventually wean Alberta off the resource revenue roller coaster. Once it hits $250 billion, the Premier says interest would be used to cover fluctuations in oil and gas prices, invest in infrastructure, and keep taxes down. A group of Edmontonians trying to save the old Ram are celebrating the province's decision to reconsider its future.
We fought for this since 2015, so it's wonderful news. It's made my day, my month, my year.
The province is now accepting proposals for ways to repurpose the site of the former Royal Alberta Museum. Last year, the government said it planned to turn it into a park. It said upkeep of the vacant building was too high and renovations would be too expensive. After public backlash and an online survey, it's changing course. Members of the Save the Old Ram task force are pleased with how the province plans to move forward.
Going the RFP route, it's a fair process, and that it then will elicit a whole range of uses, some of which can be combined, so that it becomes a multi-use cultural and heritage space, education, and primarily educational, because we need to educate Albertans and Canadians about our rich heritage, going back to the Indigenous past to the multicultural present.
Proposals can be submitted through the Alberta Purchasing Connection until September 26th. The province is encouraging people to get out and enjoy provincial parks. Tomorrow is Parks Day. Since 1990, Parks Day has been celebrated on the third Saturday in July to highlight the benefits of natural spaces across Canada. This year marks the 95th anniversary of the provincial park system. You can find a list of tomorrow's events at albertaparks.ca. Another arts organization in Edmonton is facing financial trouble. The Grindstone Theater provides an affordable space for local artists, but in order to keep doing it, it needs help from the public. CTV's Amanda Anderson reports.
It's hard to ask for help and say, we're not doing well.
But it's the current reality for the Grindstone Theater.
We provide subsidized space here at the theater so that artists can put on their shows. And I guess for a long time we've just been eating that subsidy.
Usually the theater is able to make up the difference through some of its main stage productions or events like its comedy festival.
But this past season we just did quite a few shows that lost money, and you take a big swing and sometimes audiences don't show up and you take a loss.
The Grindstone operates this location in Old Strathcona, the Orange Hub Theater, and runs classes and summer camps. Through 90 different local producers, 360 shows are featured on Grindstone stages each year. Daniel Barker Tremblay has performed at Grindstone and says he can't imagine what he'd do without it.
And I shed a few tears because it means that means that much to me.
6 staff have been laid off and programming scaled back.
We're still in a danger zone, but we're not going to close our doors.
Martin says as they work to restructure and become sustainable, they will need help. They've launched a fundraising campaign with the hope people will consider becoming monthly donors.
So much of what we rely on is ticket sales, and we understand too that people get busy and go, oh, I wish I could have seen that. I love what you guys are doing. I wish I could have seen it. And we just want to create the opportunity for people to support us even when they can't make it.
The initial fundraising target is $40,000 to cover expenses by the end of August. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Thousands of visitors are getting the first crack at K Days. It's day one of the event, and for the next 10 days, rides, games, music, and food will fill the Edmonton Expo Centre and grounds. This morning, early birds enjoyed the Premier's annual pancake breakfast, complete with a Royal Canadian Air Force flyby. Daniel Smith says K Days is a great way to spend a summer day in our city.
We showed the world that Edmonton really knows how to throw a party. Whether you are a longtime resident, newly arrived, or just visiting, K Days offers something for everyone and is one of the best ways to experience Edmonton's unique character.
K Days is the 4th largest fair in Canada. Gates open at 11 a.m. and close at 11 at night. Well, a weekend of laughter kicked off tonight in Kinsman Park. It's the 5th year for the Great Outdoors Comedy Festival. Tonight featured a set from Tony Hinchcliffe, the Trailer Park Boys, Nick Kroll, Pete Holmes, and John Mulaney are some of the other big names on the schedule. 6 Canadian cities host this festival. Organizers say they're proud it got its start in Edmonton.
It's so funny when I walk around and talk to people, I mention, well, this is an Edmonton-based company, and they're like, what? So that's nice that something from Edmonton gets appreciated. When there's something good, we should celebrate it. And, man, the shows are fantastic.
Day passes are sold out, but you can still snag tickets for single shows. Young water skiers are in Edmonton this weekend for an international competition.
Some of the top skiers in the world have considered it to be the best place they ever skied, so it's really exciting.
The sport's rising stars will compete in 3 different water skiing events: slalom, trick, and jump. The athletes are from all over the world, including Germany, the U.S., Australia, and Austria. One competitor says opportunities like this help him improve.
It's good for you because you can learn off others and you can look up to others, right? It just really helps with your skiing.
The event runs at the Shalom Ski Park by Rabbit Hill until Sunday. It's free to watch and anyone can attend. After the break, a group effort to get rid of a stinky and potentially dangerous sludge. Blue-green algae has appeared on Pigeon Lake. A dozen communities are fighting back. And later, Tee It High and Let It Fly. A golf camp for girls aims to expand the game.
It gives me great joy to see the smiles on the faces and the faces light up after they hit a good shot.
Good evening, folks. Nice day today, but cool, cloudy, and wet for the weekend with some gusts on tap for Saturday as well. We'll get into all those details in just a few minutes.
Albertans spending the summer at the village of Ghost Lake say poor reservoir management is ruining their seasonal getaway. The Ghost Reservoir is well below its yearly average water level. It's a decision made by TransAlta as it manages the hydro plant. The choice has left many property owners downstream with limited water to swim or boat in. Some say their docks are ruined. Others have hit gravel bars and damaged their boats. They're confused because Alberta's seasonal rainfall and runoff amounts have been average.
So about this time last year, we had probably close to a meter more water than we do right now, which functionally makes a huge difference. If you look around the village, you'll see a lot of rock, a lot of points that are exposed, and you'll see that most of the docks and things are going to be empty.
TransAlta would not give us an interview, but in a statement says it began refilling to return to targeted elevation levels, but had to pause to accommodate the recent precipitation. Municipalities surrounding Pigeon Lake are working together to minimize algae growth. The more it shows up in the summer, visitors and homeowners are learning to live with it. CTV's Nav Sanga reports.
Green filament coats the water near a boat launch in Pigeon Lake.
Smelled like stinkier than throw up even.
That smell comes from decomposing blue-green algae, a common and potentially dangerous phenomenon.
And we just learned to live with it. Everybody out here knows about it, and we all follow Alberta Health Services guidelines.
Summer Village of Sundance Beach Mayor Brian Waterhouse says the algae usually pops up around mid-July and is gone by the end of September. He says it covers a very tiny portion of the lake. AHS says to avoid all contact with the algae. Touching it can result in mild symptoms for adults. Those symptoms are more pronounced in kids and can be deadly for pets. People enjoying the lake are not too worried.
If you're walking in the water, that sort of thing, just rinse off after. So not terribly concerned.
As long as you're aware of it and you know what's going on, it's fine.
Use common sense. If there's an algae bloom, don't go in the water. If there's not, enjoy it.
Summer Village of Grandview Mayor Don Davidson says the water levels at Pigeon Lake are lower than normal this year.
Over the last couple of years here, there's been a drought, and when we don't get precipitation, unfortunately, the lake level goes down.
Davidson believes climate change is playing a role. He says hotter temperatures are making the lake warmer.
If you get increased temperatures, you get increased evaporation.
With the lower water levels, the lake has a higher concentration of phosphorus, one of the main food sources for blue-green algae. The 12 municipalities surrounding the lake are trying to minimize phosphorus exposure by banning the use of fertilizer.
So we're working towards that and trying to help the lake as best we can that way.
The blue-green algae advisory will remain in effect for Pigeon Lake until further notice. Nav Sanga, CTV News, Edmonton.
Red Deer Polytechnic is trying to address food insecurity through a unique summer camp. The Building Skills for Tomorrow camp connects youth with the tools, mentorship, and experience necessary to construct potato planter boxes. The boxes were donated to the Red Deer Food Bank. The kids learned about design, scaling size, and how to use a variety of tools. The camp exists to inspire youth to pursue a career in the skilled trades. Lacomb's Brady McKinley has added a win to his list of golfing achievements. The 24-year-old swung to victory at the Mickelson National Invitational in Calgary. McKinley placed second in last year's event. This year, he's claiming a $50,000 prize. He says the money will help him further his golf career.
This stage, you kind of just have to reinvest everything back into it, because every week that you play is a new opportunity, and if you maybe only play half of them because of money, then you're just taking away opportunities.
McKinley started golfing competitively when he was 15 years old. Well, divers are making a splash at the Kinsman Sports Center. It's day 2 of the Speedo Junior Elite National Championships. Divers competing this weekend earned their spot based on results from previous qualification meets. After the break, a free golf camp for girls is growing the game, teaching skills, and imprinting golf wisdom.
I
I'm not hitting the ball every single time.
But that's okay.
Yeah, that's a part of golf.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. Cool start to the day in the 10-degree range this morning, but we did manage to get back into the mid-20s, just slightly above average. Far cry from a record-setting July 18th last year. Mid-30s for a daytime high on this date 1 year ago. Air quality is going to be horrendous in northeastern Alberta through the course of the weekend. You're likely looking at high to extreme air quality health index readings. Air quality warning in effect for Cold Lake, Bonnyville, St. Paul, all the way north through Fort McMurray. Air quality may get a little bit worse Sunday here in the Edmonton area as the wind will be coming at us out of the east-northeast. You've got these showers and thunderstorms that popped up in through the foothills and continue to track off to the east and northeast through the overnight period. And so through tomorrow morning, we've got some rain off and on through the morning hours in and around Edmonton and right along this Highway 16 corridor and then back into the Grand Cache region. In fact, it looks like some of the heaviest rainfall through this weekend is going to be back in through this area here in Edmonton. Looks like about 10 to 20 millimeters. And it's not going to rain nonstop through the weekend. I think there will be periods of rain off and on through tomorrow afternoon. The steadiest probably comes through the first half of the day, and then in the afternoon, just kind of scattered showers, and that risk continues into the evening hours. Same goes for Sunday. We'll stay cloudy, hit and miss showers, especially through the afternoon hours, but nothing all that steady. Saturday looks to be the wetter of the 2 days, with the exception of northern Alberta, where Sunday looks to be the wetter of the 2 days with a chance of showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. 13s across the northwest tomorrow morning, and in the Lloydminster region will be around 14 degrees here in the Edmonton area. Daytime highs tomorrow, 29 in Fort McMurray, high 20s as well, high level Peace River. As you move further south, you get into that steadier rain. All of a sudden, temperatures are a lot cooler than that in the mid to upper teens. Whitecourt, Edson, Vegreville areas, mid-teens for Lloydminster. Red Deer, chance of showers in the morning, but mostly cloudy through the afternoon with a high of 20. Here in Edmonton, we'll get to about 18 or 19 for highs this weekend. Occasional periods of rain tomorrow. Steadiest, as we said, likely through the first half of the day. And gusts tomorrow in the 30 to 40 kilometer per hour range. Cloudy into 18 Sunday. Good chance of showers. I don't think it's going to rain all day. We'll likely see some precipitation, but it shouldn't be all that steady. 20 and 18 for highs Monday, Tuesday with a little more precipitation, and then back into the mid-20s towards the end of next week. That is your forecast.
Dozens of young girls learning how to play golf are having a ball. The two-day camp aims to get girls on the green, and it starts by getting a club in their hand at an early age. CTV's Nair Manisa tees up the story.
We're going to swing back, and I want you to feel like you bend your wrist like that.
A hands-on lesson on how to swing a golf club.
There it is.
This is the Come Out and Play Junior Girls Camp. For 2 days, 40 girls between the ages of 9 and 14 learn the basics of the sport. Some have played before.
I play with my dad, and when I was younger, he would just hold my hands and we would just go like that.
Others are picking up a club for the first time.
I'm not hitting the ball every single time.
But that's okay.
Yeah, that's a part of golf.
The goal is to give them the confidence to keep swinging.
In the middle of the hole.
It gives me great joy to see the smiles on the faces and the faces light up after they hit a good shot.
Paul Horton has been coaching for more than 40 years.
There's an increase of girls playing golf, and we're just trying to make it fun so that it's more accessible to the kids. It's meeting new friends and learning how fun golf can be, and then hopefully it grows and they can start playing with mom and dad.
The free camp is put on by Golf Town in conjunction with the city of Edmonton. The girls also get their own set of clubs free of charge.
You don't have to worry about being judged. You can just do it, and there's people here to help you.
Like easier as you keep on going and learning how to do it.
After a lesson at the driving range, it was time to learn how to chip.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yes, you got one.
The CTV camera posing as a hazard on the green.
You hit my camera.
Yeah.
The camp is teeing up a good time for the girls, giving them the skills to hit the links this summer. Nair Manisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
And that does it for this edition of CTV News. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a good night.